Welcome back to the Non-Typicals podcast for episode 16. This week we have a special treat for all of our PA listeners out there. We have the owner and manager of the biggest hunting page out of Pennsylvania, Alex Welker. If you don't know who he is, stick around and get to know him. So, this week we're on episode 16. We are with Alex Welker from PA Whitetail. I'm sure a lot of Pennsylvania hunters out there follow the page, and we're just here to introduce you to the guy behind it. So, Alex, why don't you go ahead and kind of do a short little intro about yourself, and we'll take it from there.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm Alex Welker. I grew up in Newcastle, Pennsylvania, and now I live in Butler County. And I haven't been bow hunting for too long. It's been like 6-7 years. And when I first started, I was in the stand and I was like, I don't know, I want to see a page where I can look at other deer. I was actually in the stand, and I made an Instagram page. I think I got into it before everybody else, and I don't know, I just blew up, and that's what I do in the falls. And I don't know, it's something that I enjoy doing, and I'm sure a lot of you guys listening to this have seen it. And I don't know. And yeah, I do bow hunt, I do rifle hunt, and I do a little flintlock hunting as well. But other than that, I'm just a normal hunter, and it's my favorite thing to do in the year.
Yeah, so like you kind of said, to me, like going back through the years, you were like the first hunting page on. I don't know whether you started on Facebook or Instagram first, but I remember you guys from, or at least your page from Instagram mostly. And, you were just posting away. And I really thought it was such a cool thing how you made a page for everyone else to share their bucks or whatever they're seeing in the woods.
Yeah, I've always wanted to keep it that way and just have it for the community. But as I got into bow hunting more, and in my opinion, I got a little bit better at it, I wanted to share, my success or my videos and whatnot. So, it is a community page, but I do like to pepper my experiences in as well.
I feel like there's nothing wrong with that either, with all the time, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I can only imagine all the messages and all the stuff that you do. Like you put a lot of hours into it. There's no doubt about it. I could only imagine all the messages you get when even season starts to probably get messages most of the time all year round. I'd imagine, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's something that a lot of people don't understand and it's not hard work. I'm not saying I break my back over it, but just not dealing with, but like, there's a lot of people who give me a hard time for not reading their message or posting their deer. And it's, when you get to tens of thousands of people, it's just me on Instagram. But I don't know. It's still fun. I'll tell you what, by the end of December, I am tired of Instagram and I'm tired of looking at deer. But during it, it's fun, and it's cool to keep up with everybody. And I've probably met hundreds of different guys like you two, and I've talked to you both on there. And I don't know. It's something that I probably won't stop for a while.
Yeah, I guarantee you probably know when the good time of the year to hunt. That'd probably be the only beneficial thing I could probably see, is you probably see a pattern of certain times of the year that more harvests are coming in.
I definitely do, and I've learned. If I didn't have this page, I probably would have my incline of knowledge for bow hunting would have been a lot slower. Like I've learned so much off guys, and I pick people's brains, especially the guys who are killing 150 plus inch deer every year. I still have no idea how they do it, but they've taught me a good amount and what to look for. And I don't know, that's something that I'm going to keep looking for, is even guys like you guys live for hunting, and it's something that I didn't do when I was a little bit younger, but that's all I think about now in the spring and the summer.
Kind of like what Cody was saying, like, and I'm pretty sure I've heard this on Servicide's podcast that you did with Torn Shirk. Torn's a real good buddy of mine, but I listened to that, and you guys were kind of discussing using your page to honestly your advantage or whoever's advantage to like kind of keep track year to year. Like, okay, in the general area of PA, bucks are hitting the ground November 12th, you know, or you know, you get a 7-day period. Have you seen that? You know, looking back through pictures, or have you noticed it before?
Well, I would say in the beginning when there wasn't as many people, I'd be able to kind of keep track, but now it's a whirlwind. I mean, you know, right when Halloween starts, I better get ready to be checking Instagram because I mean it's between Halloween and November 20th. I think it's you know, it's pretty hot, and in my opinion, I might have even said it on service side, but like I think deer can be rutting at different times a mile down the road from here. You know, it's not WMU.
100%. Yep.
And people were asking me, you know, where are the deer rutting at? Because they're not rutting over here in eastern PA. I mean, I don't know. It can be right down the road from me. It can be November 5th, and 5 miles down the road, it could be November 15th. So, I mean, that's my opinion. I'm no expert, but from just my experience in the wood, that's what I've noticed.
Yeah, and I think most hunters would kind of have the same consensus as, you know, what you just said. Like, it's depends on habitat, depends on your does. Like, there's so many variables, and you know, a mile down the road is going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know honestly, like nobody's ever gonna officially know. I don't think ever because they're wild animals, and I mean enclosed and trapped areas they probably will. But I feel like there's something with like the equator, you know, something has to evolve like the light switch or something like that. That's just my opinion. I don't think it's true by no means, but also at the same time, I feel like it's kind of like women, you know, like they have their period every month. Like they're not all the same, so like it has to be something like that along the lines. I guess I don't know. I really would like to know. Like that, it just makes me wonder. I guess.
Well, that's the thing is it is like woman because in my opinion it is the woman. It's the does. Whenever they're popping, it's time to go, and I don't. They're all different, like you said, and I agree. I don't know what causes it or if it's the moon. I've never looked into the moon phase too much, but I don't know. I just I have a lot of time in November to hunt, so I don't worry about any of that crap. I just get out there and wait for a deer to come by, you know.
I think you're kind of right, Cody. Like, you probably didn't address it the right way, but like, think of like Florida deer compared to PA deer. Their ruts in January, February, compared to ours, which is 2 months before that. So it's probably more to do like towards weather patterns, I would say, like climate change or the climate differences between the regions. So as you get closer to the equator, it's obviously going to be a little bit warmer, right? So
has to be something like that.
There's a tie in there somewhere, but yeah. But yeah, I mean, dude, Alex, your Instagram, you have 50 some thousand, like that 53K followers.
Yeah.
That's absolutely insane. Like, I mean, look at comparing to like some, not like juries or anything like that, but compare yourself to like the bearded buck and stuff. You have more followers than them.
Yeah, and I still haven't figured out how to tap into all the followers and like figure out new things to do because I kind of procrastinate in that, and I haven't really changed much about it. I post everybody's success and everything, and I don't think I should. I mean, that could be a question that I can ask the audience if they would want me to change something or if I should change something. But I mean, it's been working so far, so that's kind of what I'm going with.
Nah, man, I think what you're doing on your social media pages are great. Like, I noticed this past year, and I think we talked about this past hunting season about your YouTube page and stuff. And you know, you got some apparel and koozies and hats. I mean, dude, you're doing the right stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to. I never want to push the hats or koozies or everything. I mean, that's why I post about them like once a month. But it's just something cool that me and my wife do on the side. You know, it just funds my hunting Really, it's nothing crazy.
I like the logo. That's one. Like I saw it and I was like, yeah, I'm getting one. Like it doesn't even matter. Like I love it.
Yeah.
The logo is awesome. And the whole brand and everything that you do, I think, was awesome. And no matter what you do in social media or anything you do, there's always gonna be haters. So I really don't even like. It's coming to the point now where at first it kind of bugged me. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I was like, people are gonna hate on me. I don't want to be like that type of person. But the more I get into it, the people that want to care about you and like your business or whatever the heck you're going to be doing from here on forward with social media or anything like that, just care about those people more than the haters. Screw the haters. That's what I've got to the point too.
Yeah, there's a very small percentage on there that hate on me, luckily. Like, even with, I don't know if it's just the population that follows it or what, but like when I'm busy during the season and I have orders to send out, I never get, messages saying like, dude, where's it at? Hurry up, or nothing like that. Nothing's ever hostile. I don't know if I'm just lucky, or I think it's just the population of people that hunt, but it's pretty cool.
And I think, you've really tapped into the demographic of hunters. So, most of them are workers. They understand stuff. To me, hunters are more lenient towards other hunters than a non-hunter to a hunter. So you got the right demographic. It's not like you went and bought followers. So, your whole social media is based off of organic growth, and that's just amazing.
Yeah. I mean, that's another thing is I've had a couple people ask me if I bought followers, and honestly, the thing that I benefited from was like certain posts that would blow up and go on the explore page. I would wake up and I would have 3,000 new followers because everybody wanted to see that big deer or see that crazy video. And I mean, I think I hit it right at the right time. A year after I started it, there was so many like Pennsylvania outdoors and all different, pages. And I don't know.
Yeah, that's one thing that I will say that we're struggling is because we started way too late, and there's nothing wrong with that. And we're just going to keep on grinding until maybe eventually we'll get to that point. But I mean, the thing with you though is the big thing is that I like is the thing that I like about you is that you're just doing it by yourself, and we've already discussed this a little bit. It's nuts to me that you're doing all this by yourself. The messages, and it just keeps on making my mind spin. Like, dude, you're got messages out the butt, and like you said, people are probably mad at you, but they gotta understand it's just you running a page. You don't have a bunch of employees like every other big company. It's just you reading all these messages, and you probably get sick and tired after seeing about 200. You're like, I'm done for the day. I'm gonna take a break.
Yeah, especially on the first day of rifle. It's like I might as well just put an 8-hour work day in, but I don't. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, sorry, I
You can
lost.
only you can only do so much.
Yeah,
And that's the big thing. All right, done with the PA Whitetail talk.
Yeah.
Let's start
Well,
talking.
kind of. I had one more question.
Then do your one more question.
I was just gonna say, how many years have you been running that page?
Oh, I thought about it before we started. I think it's like 7.
So 2016 then.
Yeah, 2016 sounds pretty close.
It was the year. Yeah, it'd probably be right. It was the year I graduated because I remember a bunch of guys in my area started getting the shirts that you have right there. I don't know if that was the first one you came out with or not.
The first one was like the one with the big logo on it, and I thought to myself, like, there's probably a lot of guys out there that don't want a giant deer head on their chest, so I just made a small one.
Yeah, but I remember, probably right around my senior year of high school when it started. So yeah.
I gotta say though, like, it's gotta feel good to like drive around towns or go to like an archery shooter or whatever you do and see like your logo wear on a bunch of different people. I know I see it everywhere you go down to Harrisburg. I would say 10% of the people are wearing something with PA Whitetail.
Yeah, see, I've heard that before too, and it is insane to think about. And I do see, decals driving down the road. That's my favorite one. I give them a little honk because I got one on the back of my truck. But the one thing I did want to say that I just had a brain fart like 5 minutes ago, I couldn't even think, is when I said that about all these pages, you guys are kind of like a different. It's not, you guys aren't posting people's deer all day. You guys are grinding out, like working on, videos and everything else. So I mean, respect to you guys. I've followed your page for a couple years. I like it. I mean, you guys. Since I started self filming, I realize what you guys do and how hard it is, and it's something I've like gotten addicted to, especially last year.
Filming is
one-
addicting. It is
That's one
100%
thing
addicting.
that I would like to us three to talk about is self filming at some point in this hour, because I am freaking hooked, man.
We'll say
Yeah,
that for sure.
it's a grind, and we appreciate kind words. But I know when you started your YouTube page, I was just watching. I'm like, this guy is gonna get more followers than us really quick, and I think we're at like 300, and we were like a year in, and now you're at 700 subscribers, so you're well past us. So at least you had that amount of people to tap into to see your videos.
Yeah, that's one awesome thing that I have, availability is I can, throw a video up on there. And that's something I'm awful at, is making those like badass reels that you guys make and other guys. I still don't know how to do it. I'm not tech savvy at all.
Talk to old Moss. Moss does all of our editing. I just go out and I grind the camera footage.
Yeah.
That's what I try to do. I take out everybody, and I'm like, hey, do you care if I film you? They usually like, no, man, I don't care. I just want to see it when it's all said and done. And I just send them a link. So that's one thing I will say is I grind and just film as much stuff as I can. I give it to him as fast as I can, and he works on it. I think the big thing is that right now we're trying to stick to doing consistency is the big thing. And over the past, like when we first started from now, our consistency has been like a wave, man. It's been up, down, up, down, up, down. And now I'd say for a month now, we've been consistently just trying to push a podcast a week. So that's what we're going to try to start with the podcast. And then hopefully we can transition it into videos. So
Yeah, that's something that I'll never be able to do, is have a video to post every week, let alone every month. That's just, I know that's great for like YouTube algorithm and everything, but I just can't do it. I'm terrible with the camera.
Yeah, and dude, like we fight this all the time. Me and Cody and a couple other guys will just sit down and do a list, and we're like, we could do all this year. Simple how to tie a D loop on your bow and stuff like that, and then you end up just going ahead and doing it, and then you're like, crap, I didn't even freaking film it. Like that could have been a YouTube video.
Yeah. Because
I think
You're more busy trying to get stuff done than film, to be honest.
the sad part is, I'm not dissing anybody in our group whatsoever. There's 11 of us, man, and probably 5 of us have consistently did something, like for the most part. Like I'm not saying like there's guys that help out too behind the scenes and stuff like that, but there's 5 of us, and you can only see the content we have right now. I think maybe we have 30 kills or something like that. That's 5 people. You have one person. You probably already had 3 or 4, I think. I don't know how many you have.
I just filmed both of my bucks last fall.
But so right there you go, man. That's more kills than I think that. I mean, we have a lot in like probably about a year and a half span, but just you alone, man, is 2 kills. That's impressive. I'm not gonna lie to you for starting out.
I don't know if I got lucky or whatnot, but I put a decent amount of money into like a nice camera, because I want, if I'm gonna film it, I'm gonna do it somewhat right. I don't know all the settings or anything. I put that thing on the camera arm, and I just follow the deer. I don't do anything special, but you'll see a video on YouTube that has 200,000 views, and it's a guy with a Motorola Razor filming his hunt. So I don't think the quality necessarily is that big of a deal, but I don't know. I'm gonna keep learning and try to keep filming my kills, but who knows? It might be a couple years until I get another one.
I want to go down the rabbit hole, and you don't have to say exactly where you're hunting at or anything like that. How did you get involved with Ohio, and what route did you go? Are you on like permission property? You on public, or how the heck did you end up with Ohio? Because like, I'm just curious. You don't have to say where you're at or how you did it. Just basically, what way did you go about going to hunt Ohio?
Well, I've actually want to touch on this. Is I always thought to myself, if I tag out in Pennsylvania in October, I'm I'm gonna lose my mind without a buck tag, another buck tag. So last summer I went to Ohio, like the west or the eastern section of Ohio, and I door knocked for like 12 hours straight for 24 different guys, and I got all no's, 24 guys. And I work for like a really big paving company called Lindy Paving, and we were working down there. It's like kind of southeast Ohio, and there was a guy on the roller, and I started talking to him, and he was like, "My brother-in-law has 500 acres right down the road," and I was like, "Listen, I'll do some crazy things right now for you to call him and get me on that farm." And he made the call, and I somehow lucked out, and I'm at 500 acres. I'm not gonna say where, but
You don't
it,
have to, and I don't blame you because I know how people are.
yeah. But then I know I run PA whitetail and everything, but I literally fell in love with that area and just the amount of deer and everything I saw. Like when I walked into that place and I started setting my stand up, I had bucks running underneath me middle of the day when I was setting my stand up, and I was like, I don't know if I'm able to sleep, you know. But what else? You asked me kind of like a multiple question thing, but I kind of forgot.
Basically, I was just asking like how you lucked into like what you were basically saying. Like you already explained to us how that all happened.
Yeah.
And honestly, do you think there's a difference between Ohio and PA? I'll ask that question right now then.
Oh, I mean, different times there's going to be a big difference and whatnot, but definitely the size of the racks. I mean, the size of the antlers. I saw a little bit of a difference. I mean, I hunted there for 6 or 7 days, I think it was, and I saw two like 140 pluses. You know, like easily 140 pluses, and I got one of them on film. I don't know if you guys actually saw that one, but
It's a stud.
I've never seen one of those in Pennsylvania in a tree stand. So I mean, that kind of goes to tell you that it might be different, but I don't know.
Oh man, you're hunting the wrong places in PA. You're down
Yeah,
there in them
bro.
southern counties.
What counties are you two guys in?
I'm in McKean.
I'm
McKean?
in like Jefferson.
Oh, okay.
So like
Where's Jefferson at?
it's like up by like Clarion to like
Du Bois.
Du Bois area.
Oh, okay.
Like that stretches. It goes up to like Moss. Like Moss, you're McKean
No.
though. Does it go down?
It pretty much starts in like Brockway.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like Elk County's right below me.
Yeah. I don't know. I will say that though, like PA has pockets, and what Moss is saying, that's 100% sure true. And your page is, and we'll go. Like, we don't want to talk about your page really anymore, but your page shows, and it even makes me feel like, dude, there's studs in PA now. I gotta wait out. I gotta stop being hungry like every PA hunter. And I feel like that your page is making a difference. I will say that 100%. It makes me less hungry, and it makes me want to kill a more mature deer. By no means 20 plus inch deer in PA. That all day for me, but it's making me more like want to get bigger. I will say that.
To me, dude, like when I look at your page, it's like in my mind, I'm like, by the time we're 70, we're going to be on that Boone and Crockett state list.
Yeah,
It's happening. We're right now. I would say we're a sleeper state in some areas, but probably not, the full state. But I guess when we get full state being a sleeper, that kind of means it's a Boone and Crockett state. But
yeah. I mean, like you guys asked me if I think there's bigger deer in Ohio and PA or whatever, and like I was gonna say that my page is kind of like a display of what you can, if you do the right things. And I'm sure a couple of those deer on that page are harvested in a bad way, and I have no idea of knowing that, which I've gotten multiple messages, but there's big deer here, and it's going to be harder to kill. I mean, if you kill a boon or in your whole lifetime in Pennsylvania, you are one of few, I think, but I think it is increasing. I think we're having a better chance every year.
All right, question for you. What is your favorite hunting memory since you said you've only been doing it for 5 or 6 years, I think you said, or something like that. You haven't been in very long.
No.
So what's your favorite memory so far?
Oh man. I mean, I those the Ohio deer that I killed last year was great, but I didn't have a cell phone service. I couldn't make a call to my wife or my dad, and it kind of sucked. But that deer I killed in Pennsylvania last year was probably my favorite memory so far. I mean, I could tell you I've hunted rifle hunted with my dad for years. That's mainly who people get into hunting from. But that that deer I killed last year, it kind of reassured me that I can do it and I know what I'm doing, and it was a good time after I killed it, and it was a good night.
So like, let's hear the breakdown of the whole hunt.
Okay, so I don't hunt in a giant section of land. The spot that we've hunted in, me and my dad for years, my brother, it's probably 100 acres, maybe 75, and there's a section of like 40 acres that's stuff that you wouldn't even want to track a deer through, which is why I get nervous shooting a deer in there because I've lost one. But there's a fence row that goes through the middle of it, and that's about the only place you can set a tree, like a tree stand in. And I was always lazy and never was like, I'm gonna bust through there and get 25 feet in the tree. And last year in the summer, 80 degrees out, I was like, you know what, I gotta do something different instead of sitting in the same 3 trees all fall. And I did it. I got up in that tree October 15th, which I've never seen a shooter buck in mid to early October ever. And climbed up there. And as you saw in the video on YouTube, I'm thinking to myself, nothing's going to happen. And I look over, and I mean, in my mind, that was a big deer. I know a lot of guys watching this have killed way bigger, but he was thrashing the tree and everything, and he walked in like something you would see in your dreams. He came to 14 yards, and I moved the camera over with my elbow and freaking drilled him. He only went 50 yards. But yeah, that was still was the best hunt I've ever been on.
That's my one thing that I wish that would change in the hunting community is discriminating. Honestly,
Oh, trust me. And I feel bad because I feel like my page is kind of like, you could take it one way or the other. I'm posting the biggest deer that come in, but I'm trying to let people know that, it doesn't matter what you shoot. So that's the hardest thing I have with my page is like, sometimes I wonder like, what am I doing? But I probably worry about it too much.
Maybe you should make a rule that you're only going to post 10 points in Pennsylvania, 11 points.
Yeah, maybe. Because there are a lot of Pennsylvania 11 points hitting the ground.
The only thing I could say is if you want to do something different, and I'm not telling you how to run your page by no means, but whatsoever, is if you want to do like a youth month, like at like middle of summertime, go and find all the youth hunters or something like that whenever there's no pictures. Go back. It's going to take time for you, obviously, but I'm just saying if you ever want to try something different, go back and get all the youth hunters and do like a month in the summer of just pictures of youth hunters.
That's actually a very good idea.
That way you can get the youth involved with your page, and they're going to feel like special, which they should feel special by no means, but try something different like that. I mean, it might be a good idea, it might not be, but I feel like that'd be get the youth involved. That's what we need to do, and it's a big thing. Like they even say our numbers are dropping, and if you really think about it, all the hunters really now are just old guys, and after the old guys, there's not very many guys in the younger ages that are really hunting anymore.
I'm excited to see the final numbers from our PA license sales this year. Supposedly it's record numbers, like not even close to last year.
You could see that with the doe tags being purchased. Obviously, 2F's already out. 2F's usually out. 2G now because they combine both. There's just so much a PA does, but that was just the idea I figured that I could throw out there for getting the youth involved.
No, that is a really good idea because I always, as you see, I have nothing to post in the summer. I mean, I work like a ton of hours like in the middle of the summer, and then it tapers off, and then I have time off in the fall. But like that's a very good idea that I might even try in August. Like you said, it's going to take a lot of combing and looking through, but it could be worth it. And
Even
The best thing you could probably do, Alex, is, as they come in and as you look at them, save them to your phone, put them on your computer, keep them on your phone, and then just put them in, categorized folders. So then you can be like, okay, here's all the use.
yeah.
Here's all the 8 points, all the 10 points, whatever you decide to categorize them as.
Yeah, I mean that's a very good idea, and that's one thing that I do look at though in the fall and the winter is I look for younger people, but I possibly skip hundreds of them like you guys could imagine, and you know the youth is very important. I actually thought last week to myself, is there a way that I can post on Facebook or Instagram and say, is there any 10 to 16-year-olds out there that don't have the resources to go on a hunt or like learn how to rifle hunt, and take them out and possibly buy them like a cheaper gun, or not a cheap gun but a reasonable gun, and take them out and hopefully harvest a doe or a buck. But then I'm thinking to myself, what parent is going to let some random guy take out their kid with a gun? So I just don't know how to go about it. But I would like to do that once a summer or once a fall, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like
they're got it. And I know like the game commission, they do like at least mentored. Like you can sign up to be a mentor, and then they'll try to like group you with a youth in your area. So maybe that like they're already signed up for that to become a mentee. So, I've thought about doing it. I think that'd be great. That
you
would be
like
an awesome
they,
thing to do.
I know they did a pheasant hunt whenever I was like 12. The
Yeah.
Pheasants Forever does that. Honestly, along the lines that you'd have to come up with something like PA whitetail, and then figure out. You'd have to. I don't know. You're gonna have to look into way more depth, obviously, but you could probably start like something like you were saying, and do something in the summertime where you could do like a raffle or something like that. Again, get a bunch of groups of people and see who wants to get involved, and donations, and then go from there is what you're probably gonna want to do. But that's something that you need to definitely for sure look into. If you ever do it, let me know. I definitely want to be involved with that too.
Yeah, well, maybe I can do what was that? You said the game commission. You call them and you want to be what'd you say?
It's like you're becoming a mentor. Like, how they have the mentored youth license.
Yeah.
Instead of it being your own kid, they assign, it's kind of like a Big Brother program, but for hunting. They assign you to a kid and you take them out, with parents' permission and stuff, and go from there.
I mean, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. So I mean, I'm gonna look into that, and if I learn how to do it all and I'm successful, then I can pass the word on. And I mean,
Yeah.
just like me, I know a lot about Pennsylvania hunting, and I didn't know about that, So
Right.
I might be able to shed a lot of light toward that. So
I just went on the Game Commission's Instagram page to because I know they just posted it. I was looking for the post. Now this just blows my socks off. But you have more followers on your Instagram page than they do.
then the game commission.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's pretty crazy. I mean, I don't know.
They have 40.3. You have 53. So it's not even like a close race.
Yeah, I should post more about what they're posting and everything, and I don't. I mean, the one post I did about getting rid of the pink envelopes and doing the online tags, I regretted doing it because it kind of looked negative towards them. And in my opinion, that second tag I got 4 days ago or whenever that was, that was easy, and I enjoyed the process because I logged on, waited in line, just checked my email, and I got my tag within a minute.
Yep.
So I mean, I
will say though, they need to fix some things, because as soon as I got my tag, I could still be at the home screen, not wait in line, and then I could go and get 5 other people's doe tag for them.
Oh.
So I should have called you up because I had to wait till after. I had to wait till after work, man. And I didn't get one for 2F for round 2. I only got one 2F and one 2D so far.
Yeah,
So-
I was just like messing around with him. Like, let me see if I can get my wife's tag. And then we just started calling people, and I knew Cody was at work. And I'm like, if I really wanted to make some extra money real quick, I could post that on a Facebook group, and people would pay me to log in and buy their tag for them.
Yeah, I'm sure they've heard of, everyone's told them about what went wrong, but I think it's a good step because the pink envelopes were, in my opinion, they were a little bit of a hassle, but everyone has their own opinion.
there's pros and cons and everything that goes on. So there's nothing wrong with what they're doing, but obviously they need to fix some stuff like we all said.
Yeah.
So, and I guess we kind of avoided the question, Alex. Like, what got you into hunting? Because I know you said you started kind of later in life compared to most people. So, like, what made you do it?
Well, rifle hunting, my dad got me into it, but then I never touched a bow until I was in college, and I played sports my whole life. And when I had to hang up the football cleats in college, I was like, I need something else to compete in, And it's not I'm not comparing it to football, but like, there's something in my mind that, like, trying to be better than everybody or working harder than everybody in the season is something that I like. And I think just my love for the fall in general is what I was tired of waiting for Thanksgiving to hunt, because I didn't even have a bow. So when I started it, I didn't even kill anything with my bow for like 3 years, and I kept with it.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I picked up a bow when I was 14, a compound first. Really liked it, outgrew it really quick though. And then I just took it upon myself to go and get a crossbow. I had it for 3 days and I sold it because I hated it so much. So I must have like the same kind of mentality. Like, there's no competition in crossbows, but with the compound, it's a little more different.
Oh yeah.
The way you're saying, like, it's just nuts to me. Like, people, like, I started hunting whenever, like, it's just crazy how everybody goes in different ways, I guess, into the whole hunting side of things, which I wish there was more people like you that started later, like, there's no shaming. Like, I want people to get into it because for me, it's just so relaxing. Like, I could give two flying craps if I do kill something, honestly. I mean, I like to eat the meat and I like to, do that kind of stuff. But I guess now I just more like, my fiance is like, why do you have to go hunting so much and you never kill anything? Like, I'm really not trying to kill anything, honestly. I'm just kind of like, it's a little vacation for me, I guess. Like, I don't take vacation to go like to the beach or anything like that. She always wants me to go, but I'd rather go sit in a tree stand, just listen to the woods wake up in the morning and go to sleep at night. I love that. It's just relaxing. And then with spring turkey, hear the gobbles right whenever it gets daylight, and then it's just right before dark they gobble too when they're in the roost. I love the change of morning to night, I guess, would be the big thing. It's just relaxing to me.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I think drives us all is that we know that 96% of the population in America have no idea what that's like to wake up at 4 and be sitting in a tree at 5 in the morning. And a lot of people probably think we're nuts, but that's what I like, is people think we're crazy for it, and we love it.
So, kind of touching on turkeys, we know you as a PA whitetail guy, but what about turkeys? You like turkey hunting? I know your wife and her family loves turkey hunting.
Yeah, and I'm nowhere near what Deanna and her dad do to the turkeys. I suck at it. I can't do a mouth call. I do it try it in my work truck all the time. I just can't. I can't do it. So I go out with them and I don't kill anything, and I don't know. I always think to myself, how does somebody like turkey hunting more than deer hunting? But I guess it's just I haven't had the experiences that other people have, and I don't know. I'm just not the turkey guy that some people are.
With your work schedule, are you starting to work right then too, though? Aren't you?
March, the end of or the middle of March is when I start work. So I mean, it's not very doable for me, but I do try. I go out and I try learning from her and her dad. Her dad's like the best woodsman I'll ever meet in my life. He's taught me a crap load of stuff, but it's just turkeys. I don't know. Maybe I'll get into it one day, but same with geese and ducks. I've never went out and killed those either. So
No, I will say out of our group, that's something that my brother does it, but they do it different than most people. There's no doubt about that. And more like they just sit around a pond, they come flying in, and they just start destroying them. But like it's totally different than most people. But I will say like that's not something I want to get into because I've heard from multiple different people it's a money pit. I already have enough money pits with hunting to begin with, so I'm not gonna even try. Like I know how I am because like with hunting, man, I'll do something. Prime example, predator hunting, man. We were in college and that's all we did because we were done with our classes and we really couldn't go archery hunting. And that's how I started predator hunting big time, honestly. I was in college and I was working at the same time, man. And we got bored at night and it was like 10 o'clock at night. We were done doing our studying and stuff like that. And we're like, our one buddy had a Fox Pro and we had some crappy red lights, dude. And it just turned into we were killing a bunch of stuff, man. And it got to addiction that we loved it. And then it just grew from there. Now I have like one of the better Fox Pros and good lights and stuff like that. And now I want to get in the thermal aspect, but I just can't justify spending the money for that. You know, I don't do it enough with the baby. And it's just, I'm not like, there's always something in hunting. That's the one thing I will say is, you think that you're good for one thing, and the next thing you know, there's another money pit that you're going to dump money into.
Yeah, I mean, I have two things that I'm like obsessed with doing is bow hunting whitetails and fishing for steelhead, and those two are like enough for me. You know, I don't know. I just after I'm done fishing for steelhead, then I'm like, all right, I got 6 months to wait, and you know, I don't know. I haven't gotten into anything else yet. And like you said, it is freaking expensive. And I haven't went down the path of buying Sitka and everything or First Light, but I do put some good money into my tree stands. You know, I shoot a 10-year-old bow. I shoot a 10-year-old Hoyt that I've started with. It's just the tree stand game is something that has correlated with my success, being able to move around and not sit in the same two trees all season. But other than that, I try to keep it pretty reasonable on price.
So what is your tree stand setup?
I don't have any like specific modifications to it, but I just carry around. I have two different Novix setups, the Eco and forget the other name. One's big and one's small. And my technique, I talked my buddy into buying them the other day. He spent like $1,000 at one night. He was sick about it. But I'll set up my bigger platform in the center somewhere that I like to hunt. And when I get out, I'll tear my sticks down. And then I'll watch what I see. And if I want to move, I'll keep that stand there. And I'll use my other one as like I don't know, a satellite stand. I'll move around with that one because it's a lot lighter.
Dude, that's pretty brilliant, to be honest. Like there's not too many people that do that. You know, they have one stand. You know, if they're moving the whole stand, no matter what it is. But you're going around. You have sometimes two stands. You need to move. You're leaving that big stand. You're going for moving the little one, and that's very smart.
Yeah, I mean, I always think to myself, if I take those sticks down, there's nobody walking through the woods with a ladder or sticks that are going to climb up that tree and take it. So, I mean, it is a $300 platform, but I mean, no one's going to grab it. So that's what I do. In Ohio, I did that and I moved around in 6 different trees, you know, and it was successful. I don't know. Could be something that works.
So what do you think about saddles?
I don't know. I've had.
You're talking to some saddle guys right here.
Yeah, I know. And I've had success with what I'm doing and it's comfortable. And I'm sure if I got up in the tree in a saddle, I would probably be like, yo, I need one of these, but am I gonna spend another whatever 600? I don't know what the platform and the saddle costs, but what am I gonna do? Go and sell my platforms, that I love so much and I spent a lot of money on?
Right. Cody, you're muted.
Well, I will say this though, going down the graph, like what you're saying, I had the Lone Wolf setups.
Mhm.
I got into saddle, and it's just so much more mobile with the saddle, man. It's nuts. And with you self-filming, you really need to look into getting a saddle. I'm telling you that right now. It's gonna sound stupid.
I don't know though, dude. Like
It's tough. It's tough with
like
the
everything.
brands.
There's
It's tough with
pros
the-
and cons of everything.
Yeah, but obviously your heavier one. Get rid of your heaviest one, and then go get a saddle with the money that you got with your heaviest one. You probably could get a cheaper, not cheaper, but like a mid-range price saddle, and go with that, man. I'm telling you.
You could walk out with a full saddle setup, saddle, ropes, and the platform for probably 500.
Okay.
So
You can
it's not terrible. Like, yeah, $500 all at once because you have to have everything. It's like, wow, whatever. But I tell you what, dude, it took me 3 seconds after sitting in one to go and buy one.
Yeah, that's honestly what I'm trying to avoid, is sitting in one, because I know that I'll probably go down that path fast. Nobody I know in the direct area that I hunt with or talk to has one, so luckily, I know I should try it, but I'm gonna give these stands one more year, and then maybe I'll
Yeah.
get convinced.
All right, man. Oh, you got a question? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, just if you're gonna ever do it, just do it. It's getting to the point now. Everything's getting light. Like we just got those Tyler One sticks, and they're nuts, and everything in the game's getting way lighter. That's the only thing I will say. That's a pro.
Yeah, I mean, my setup probably is pretty heavy compared to everybody else's, but that's once I look into it, I'll probably go, the best route and go light, and you'll probably see me in a saddle in a couple years, honestly.
All right, you want to talk a little bit about self-filming. So, what do you want to know about self-filming, or what setup do you have right now?
Oh, I have the Sony AX3 or AX, 3, I believe it is, and what the heck are those arms that I use? I don't remember exactly what it is, but
Is it a fourth arrow?
Fourth Arrow. Yep,
Yep.
that's it. I'm pretty impressed. I've never used a different one, so I don't know what to compare it to, but
Fourth arrow is good.
oh, go ahead.
Just fourth arrow is good, and then any like your XOP or Lone Wolf and stuff like that. That if you're gonna, you can't be cheap about your camera arms. That's the only thing I will say.
Yeah. How do you guys do second angles? Like, if you have a GoPro, what are you connecting to? I still haven't yet to figure it out.
We have.
Where's mine at? Right here.
Right here.
It should be
Mine.
close.
I have a
Yeah.
big clamp.
Oh,
So
okay.
hopefully there's a limb or just something right above you.
What the
If
heck?
not, honestly, dude, like we hardly do second angles. Like, and I'm sure it would take our videos to like the next level, but it's just like if you got a GoPro up above you as that deer's coming in, it's either you buy a $50 remote or you got to reach up and turn it on.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
to me, it's weird.
I really do wish I had a second angle, just to see what I was doing in the stand, what I got away with or what, I don't know. But if you see a deer coming from 50 away, you can no problem go turn that on.
Right.
I have a GoPro. I literally, every time I got in my stand, I was like, where the hell am I going to put this thing at? That's every time.
Get one of those clamps, I'd say, and then my next purchase, I think, after I gotta get a whole new camera because I ruined mine. My next purchase is a 360-degree camera. Honestly, those things are nuts. I've seen enough videos on them, and they put your filming to a different level. I think personally.
Is that what that Greg from the Hunting Public uses?
Yeah, the thing that like turns the whole like view of the camera around
Yeah.
from his back. Yeah.
It's nuts. Shane Simpson, he's a big turkey hunter. You probably don't watch turkey hunting, but Shane Simpson, if you go watch some of his videos for turkey hunting, man, it's nuts. He doesn't even use a main Like most of his videos, he just uses that. He sticks it in the ground because he's on like the turkey out in the ground. He sticks in the ground, dude, and it just goes a whole entire way around the like 360 degrees. It's nuts.
Yeah, that's actually crazy. But who do you? Well, I have a question for you. Who do you think is the best at self-filming? In the game. I have two guys in mind. I just wondered what you guys would think.
I would really like Chris B for
Yeah.
self-filming. He's really good at self-filming. Another one is that Greg from Hunting Public is very good at self-filming.
Yeah.
He's top notch. Shane Simpson, he does a lot of self-filming turkey. Like I watch a lot of turkey hunting too, but he's very good at self-filming too. If you ever want to watch some good self-filming turkey hunting, watch Shane Simpson.
There's a name that he's my favorite in the whole industry. Have you guys ever? I'm sure you have. You watched Jared Mills?
Yep.
I think he's like top tier. His stuff is incredible.
But you gotta think though, man. Like there's a difference between me, you, and Moss and Corey. I'm trying to say Corey here. Dude, that guy did a lot with Midwest Whitetail, man. So he knew how to film and he knows how to do all that stuff. So like he has that education compared to Joe Schmo, you and I.
Oh yeah, trust me. If you went out and killed 120 and got it on film, and he did a 170, I'd be more impressed with what you did. I'm just saying, like in general, for like an aspect of just a viewer, that dude is freaking awesome.
No, I'm not dissing him whatsoever, but I'm just saying, like, I wish I knew the knowledge that he knows. Like, it'd be nuts. And eventually, at some point, I hope to get there. But like, yeah, I like watching his own personal page that he grew up after the Midwest Whitetail. It is really good to watch.
Yeah.
Personally, I think like turkey hunting is a lot easier to self-film than deer hunting.
Yeah.
That's just my personal thing. I think Cody would probably disagree, but I mean,
I
we're
disagree.
hunting like my birds up here are different than your birds, and my deer are different than your deer. They act different.
I will say probably turkey hunting up your way. I'm not saying it's it's a little bit easier because there's so much more pressure here. Deer hunting up there is just such a big vast area, and deer hunting here is just farm hunting. So there's different. I think the big thing about turkey hunting is compared to deer is deer you're up in a tree, so like you can do a little bit more movement. Turkey hunting, man, you do a little bit of tiny movement, dude. They freaking see that stuff and they're gone no matter what.
That's why I suck at it. Their vision's ridiculous compared to a deer. But then you got to go with, do turkeys even have scent? I know deer sure do. So it goes both ways.
Yeah, and you Alex, you run a mirrorless, right?
I think I don't even know that.
What'd you say? There's a Sony AX3.
A7.
Oh yeah. Yours is a mirrorless, dude.
So you don't have you have autofocus or don't have autofocus?
I have autofocus. Trust me, I wouldn't even know what to do without it.
No. So like I have it's a DSLR, so it's a little bit different than a mirrorless. The autofocus on those just suck for video. Absolutely terrible. Where like we normally run, me and Cody used to have the same camera. We run a camcorder.
Mm-hmm.
The autofocus did it's just so much better. And I saw you get that camera, like, man, he jumps right into it. Like, that's a great camera. Like, it takes really good film, but I'm like, it's either gonna hurt you or it's gonna be good for you because you don't know any difference.
Exactly. I don't know. I just believe it or not, you said Chris B. I looked on his page, looked what he used, and I mean, he has a better one than I do, but I went in the same direction as him, and he even said, it's way harder to use a camera like that compared to a camcorder. And I was like, I don't know. I want my video to look something like this, so let's try this. And I got two of them down. It literally might take me 10 more years to get two more, but I don't know. It's freaking fun.
I've been doing this now since 2016. My senior year in high school, I started filming, and I just had a crappy camcorder, and I recorded a lot of self-filming because I really didn't have anybody in the area that was getting into it yet. And I self-filmed myself shooting the cub and archery. I shooting plenty of deer before that, but I lost all my footage long story short, I can't believe I still have my bear kill, honestly. So like, I will say from the self filming aspect, man, I'm gonna tell you some stories. I used to use I had a double man tree stand, man. And I filmed a deer one time. I sat the camera on the stand beside me. And I legit was moving all my stuff with my hand. And the thing about like with archery hunting is you can do a lot more movement than what you think. And the thing is, you got to know when to move, and it's just going to take time for you to learn this kind of stuff over the years. I've scared a lot of deer. There's no doubt about that. I'm not a professional by no means. But the more you do it, the better you're going to be. And that's what I'm going to tell anybody that's going to get into self-filming. You just got to go out there, film yourself shooting does. You don't have to post them, but just film everything that you want to film, man. And the more the film, the better you're going to be.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why I got into it is because I was tired of telling people stories and then being like, you're bullshitting me. So now I can literally be like, here's the link, go check it out, because that's what happened. I don't know. I think
Yep.
every time you tell a hunting story to someone, you know, in the back of their head, they're like, dude, you're not
Bullshit.
telling the truth.
That's the only problem I will say is I got. I'm gonna get better. I hope now, but I grind and rattle in so many deer, dude. It's not even funny. The problem is I don't feel myself doing that kind of stuff. So I'll be grunting and rattling. I just blind grunt and rattle, man. But I forget to record myself doing it. Is the problem.
Well, I have no luck with grunting and rattling. In Ohio, I got a little bit better, but I don't. That's one thing that I still can't wrap my mind around is that people were doing that all the time. Because I try it, and I think I do it somewhat in the right way, and it never happens to me. Hopefully, that works.
It's
What?
them southern deer, dude. You got to come up north one weekend.
I'm telling you, if you
We'll
guys
show you how it goes.
want to do a little filming thing together and we can go get on some public for a couple of days, I seriously would want to because
Oh yeah.
I was talking to my wife before this and she was like, you got to let them know that nobody listen to this. I am the only guy from my graduating class that archery hunts.
What?
Holy
Isn't that insane?
Where'd you graduate from?
It's called Neshannock,
Okay.
like Newcastle area. There's
Yeah.
not a single guy that I know that has a bow and arrow.
Wow. And that's not too far from Butler, is it? Because I used to live in Butler.
It's 45 minutes away. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I went to elementary and a little bit of junior high there, and dude, everybody was into hunting.
Yeah. I mean,
What?
That's nuts.
it was a class of 100. I mean, I know it's not a huge class, but there's 50 guys probably in it, and not one of them care to shoot a bow or anything. So I don't have that like camaraderie with a bunch of guys like you my age. So if you guys pick out a weekend or something and want to,
You need to come up and do deer drives or rifle season, man. That's
Rifle
fun.
season, you can dude. It's an open invitation.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, if you want to do like a group hunt, like bear rifle,
Camaraderie.
it's just so much fun. Man, we don't even care to kill crap, man. There's DMAPs for our area to come up and shoot some dude. I'm telling you, it's just a blast.
yeah. Well,
Just, I think the group aspect of things, that's what made us all come together. Honestly, is like we all like hunted together. Like half the group now is friends from high school that I hunted with. Like in our area, like where I'm at from Moss, it's big hunting where I'm at. Like there's some chunks of public access, man, that get hunted harder than game lands. I'm telling you right now. I've never seen it in my entire life. It's worse than game lands. It's nuts.
Well, I got a taste of it when I went out to Indiana County with her and her dad. They got me into muzzleloader hunting. I pulled up to Kravetsky's and there was 25 dudes ready to go with muzzleloaders at 5 a.m. And I was like, this is something that I don't know about. And this is awesome. I was like, if I had a couple video cameras going out with us, with GoPros with shots flying everywhere, that'd be a pretty damn good video. But it's so much fun doing those like group hunts.
It's hard. It's hard to film them though, man. We did one. I think we did one rifle video.
Our very first rifle season, first day that we started filming, like we got a doe, a buck, a doe and a buck on the first day on
Really?
film.
Yeah, my buddy,
Like
my
during
buddy shot one.
drives.
Yeah, my buddy shot one with a 44 mag. It was pretty sick.
Well, this year I'm just gonna follow her dad around with my camera during muzzleloader because he freaking lays them down. He killed 5 last year, doe, with a muzzleloader. So
That's
yeah,
impressive.
that's
Yeah,
what I'm.
there.
He's a killer.
Yeah, he's killed. He's made 2 of his own flintlocks and he uses them, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna follow him around. I don't even care to kill one.
But yeah, dude, if you, I know, like, you come up anytime during deer season up here if you want, anytime. And I know we're talking about doing like a snowshoe hare hunt. If
Yeah, I mean,
that would interest you.
well, I can't do that because my wife, we have 2 bunny, 2
Oh,
pet bunnies, so I don't know if I can. That wouldn't sit well with her.
well, just tell her you're grouse hunting.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah.
Look what I got.
She's probably listening to talking right now.
Yeah.
Where do you find rabbits at? They're like not around anymore. I'm like,
Oh,
No
They're-
shoe bears.
They're hare.
you
They're
can't
not rabbits.
Vienna.
there's actually a bunch up this way. I'm not gonna lie, like rabbits. There's tons of. There must be a hot problem where you live, man. There's freaking rabbits out the wazoo up here.
But listen, I know like the archery season's a grind and everything, and I probably wouldn't be able to come up unless I'm tagged out. But when it comes to rifle season or muzzleloader or late archery, I would love to come up and even just to hunt somewhere different, even if it's just you 2, us 3 going out. I don't care. Be something cool to do.
Yeah.
Rifle season. I think the last weekend I want to try to get a group of guys and we want to do a chunk of public. Just get a big group, like not a big group of guys, like my bigger group of guys, man. I feel like the perfect number, and this is just my personal opinion with driving, is 10 to 15, like that perfect number. Whenever you get past like 15, man, or 13, that number, like everything past that, dude, it just gets so freaking crazy. There's so many people know where they're at, and it just
People
turns
get
into
pissed.
and then it just turns into the biggest cluster ever.
Oh, trust me, and it's sketchy too. I mean, going with if you don't know a guy, if I don't know somebody and they're running around with a gun without camo on and stuff, it's scary in my mind. I mean,
Big thing is we communicate very. If you're driving, we're driving. We're not quiet driving. We're like, woo!
yeah.
people think we're idiots. In our bear video, if you ever watched the bear video, man, that's how we are. We just scream the whole entire time because we don't want to get shot. We're just like, whoa!
Heck yeah, man. That's a good idea.
Yeah. If you want to see some haters, go watch our Theron. His name's Theron in our group. He shot a 530-pound black bear, and there's quite a bit of haters in the comments there. And
What's the hate about? What would you do wrong?
nothing.
I mean, I guess the big thing is like his pistol was unloaded and he was like pointing up in the air and stuff like that.
He had a GoPro, so it's very wide. So it looks like he's pointing at everybody. He's just like, keeping his arm straight up and stuff. And it's, I don't know. He did nothing wrong.
Oh, okay.
That and they were yelling at us for yelling like a bunch of. Some guy said a bunch of Indians in the woods. After like, dude, you're in bear season and you hear a gunshot. What do you think's like? What are we gonna do? Just like clap in our head? Like, no, we're gonna be excited.
I'm gonna have to go watch that video. I'm sorry I haven't watched it yet.
It's pretty far back, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. We're just
There's our second video, and I think I had 46,000 views.
Isn't that exciting when it gets traction? Like, I don't understand the algorithm, but like the past 30 days, I've gotten like 15,000 views on my Ohio video. Like 8 months later, I don't know how it works, but it's exciting.
Yeah.
It popped up on mine, like, so I watched it right when it came out, and it popped up again. I watched it again. I just like, I don't know. That video you did in Ohio, man, was sweet. I love it. I feel like it's just because it's so action packed. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
go ahead.
kudos to you, dude. You got a camera like, what was it? During season or right before season?
I probably bought that camera in September.
Okay, so right, like you didn't have much time to practice, and you went out there and filmed $2 on camera kills. Like that's self-filming. That's impressive.
You're gonna get better. That's all I'm gonna tell you, man. You're
Yeah,
gonna get better.
you guys can be completely honest with me. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. Do I talk too much in my videos?
No.
No, we don't talk enough. That's our problem. We don't talk enough, man. We don't do
Yeah.
we honestly just go film us killing shit or us going just sitting in a tree stand. Like there's a lot of footage that we don't kill anything at all. There's a lot of footage of us just seeing a bunch of animals and we don't even shoot at them. But like you talking and explaining, like that's what we need to do better. And that's our only downfall, I will say, is we don't do enough intros. We don't do enough talking in between saying what's going on. I don't film enough like whenever it's because I need to buy extra battery for the next camera I buy because whenever I'm hunting, man, I'm worried like, dude, my camera's gonna get like it's gonna get pulled out because in the rut, man, whenever I'm grunting and doing all this stuff, I'm like, dude, if my camera battery gets low because of the coldness, I'm just filming stupid stuff that's not gonna matter, and a big buck comes in and dies, dude. I'm gonna be so freaking upset.
That's one thing with my camera. I could sit out there like for 10 hours, and when I leave, there's still 40% in the battery. Even if it's 20 degrees out. I don't know what it is, but I'm just gonna keep that battery. I don't know.
Buy a backup one. That's the only thing I will say. It will bite you that cold weather. Because my GoPro, man, that's my only bitch about GoPro and all these like little tiny like third angle, like second angle cams. It dies so freaking easy, man. My GoPro never lasts whenever it gets cold. It dies in like 2 seconds. Like in November, as soon as it gets cold, dude, I'll be I got a full battery. I can last for like a good 2 or 3. Next thing I look up is dawn. I'm like, what the heck?
There's nothing worse than that.
And tonight, now they're shooting 5 inches to the left. And I have different fletched arrows. So I have a 4-fletched and a 3-fletched. So I don't know. And knock on wood, I've never lost a deer to any mechanical. But I've also always stayed away from rage. So I don't know what I'm doing.
I mean, I hope you never lose a deer because I literally can't even explain what it feels like.
I can explain it, man, and anybody that's hunted for a long enough time in archery or anything like along lines, you're gonna lose a deer. It doesn't matter if it's rifle, archery, or whatever. You're gonna lose deer. It happens. It's a way of
I
life.
lose more in rifle, if anyone's wondering.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. It happens, and that's what I was gonna talk to you before you were after we're done with this because we are done with it. That's the touchiest subject, I will say. Anybody that says that never lost deer or line deer, it's gonna happen eventually. I don't care who the heck you are.
Mm-hmm.
Even the professional hunters, dude. You know how many deer they probably lose that nobody even knows about? There's probably a bunch more than we know, and nobody's gonna admit it. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, I like the guys who can admit it. That's why I still follow the hunting public. Those guys will put their bad shots on the internet, and that takes some balls.
I'm not dissing it whatsoever. Like kind of like Ted Latt a couple of years ago when he made that shot on that deer, and he did find it eventually. But like it's nuts that they even posted it like him with the bad shots. So.
Yeah, I mean someone has to do it. Someone has to let people know that it happens.
I mean, I didn't make a great shot last year on the deer I harvested. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I was self-filming. I drew back. The wind was blowing. I knew that it was gonna catch my wind. My anchor point with my thumb button, it was stuck in the tree, and I wasn't comfortable. But I had the camera and everything. Like with self-filming, dude, I was in a rush. I wanted to get everything on film. I shot, and with the angle and with my broadhead, it slowed down. And I hit it came in perfect behind the front shoulder, but it exited back by the hip. And whenever it caught the hip, man, it didn't get penetration because I was shooting this Grim Reapers, like I said, like this big. It stuck in the back hip. Didn't have any blood. I called in 2 or 3 different people for tracking dogs, and they would come get it. And we lucked in and just Moss looked out in the field, and he found it, just laying there dead. There's no blood whatsoever. I had like 3 specks of blood, man. And we got lucky. The deer only went, but the thing is, the big thing about this is, I'm like coming to this conclusion too, is if you make a bad shot, back out. No matter who you are, back out. Give it more time than you want to. It was a hot day. The meat didn't go bad. There's no doubt about that. But it was a hot day, and I shot that deer at 7 a.m. and I didn't go look till 3 or 4 o'clock that night.
Yeah, I agree.
You got to back out. More times better. Got shot deer, 15 easily hours. I don't care who you are. The longer, the better.
A deer you shot was dead in 30 seconds. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
The problem was you didn't have, and that's why shot placement is critical because you need a pass through. I don't care if it's a gut shot, you need a pass through.
Yeah,
if you don't have a pass through, you're not going to have any evidence.
pass through is like the biggest thing you got to look for. And if you get one, no matter where you hit on that body, it's good news that it passed through, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure, man. So I think we're gonna wrap this up. We'll definitely have you on again. You know, you're a pretty cool dude. We like you a lot. You got a cool page, and you know, we definitely want to hear about your growth of YouTube page and as well as your PA Whitetail Instagram page. So why don't you give yourself the plug and tell everyone where they can find you on YouTube, wherever you are.
Yeah, I mean, if you go on Instagram and type in PA Whitetail or YouTube, you'll see me on both of them. You know, if you come on the Instagram, you can keep track of what happens in Pennsylvania all fall. You know, you can see what deer are killed, and it's just a good time in general. So if you want to check it out, go ahead. It's on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. Sorry. I appreciate you guys having me on. It was a good time. It got easier as it went. You know?
Yeah, man. We really appreciate you coming on and spending your time with us this evening.